and lessons still unlearned. The way ahead was lost to sight. A wall of stillness in the night. No key, no handle, not a crack. Just a feeling of no turning back. A riddle written in the air. A heavy stillness of despair. Then a whisper started in the gloom. A thread of sound in the silent room. It wasn't mine, it came from deep. A secret that the shadows keep. Then came another. Then came another. Then came another. Then came another. One spoke of oceans, one of glass. One of a moment that would pass. A crooked shape, a scent of rain. A fractured memory of pain. They circled me, a ghostly choir. Some were of water, some of fire. Disconnected, wild and strange. Within my mind's unmeasured range. And the whispers multiplied in the gloom. I'm filling the corners of the room. They weren't all mine, they came from deep. The secrets that the shadows keep. Then came 100. Then tangled chords. Then kindled coils. Then kind of wonder. A word of glass touched one of rain. It shattered a forgotten pain. A crooked shape fit in the crack. And suddenly a light came back. Not one alone could show the way, but woven in a strange array, the whispers formed a single tone. A truth I'd never known I'd known. But now a door stood where was nothingness before. The riddle hadn't been a lock, but just a shadow on the clock. I stepped on through. The air was new. The path ahead now clear and true. There's a whisper in the engine, a tremor in the frame, a feeling that a season is about to change its name. A ghost within the static, a crack along the wall. We only see the symptom, not the reason for the fall. So let's trace the edges of the shadow. Give the unseen thing a shape and size. Before we move a single stone or arrow, we must look it in its unseen eyes. We have to draw the circle sharp and narrow, and name the truth behind the thin disguise. The map is torn and faded, the compass spins around. We're listening for a footstep, but there isn't any sound. Is the sickness in the room, or the poison in the rain? It's a question, not an answer, that will take away the pain. So let's trace the edges of the shadow, give the unseen thing a shape and size. Before we move a single stone or arrow, we must look it in its unseen eyes. We have to draw the circle sharp and narrow, and name the truth behind the thin disguise. Against the breeze, we're peeling back the layers, past the branches, past the leaves, to find the single seed from which the trouble grew, to see it in the light and know what we must do.
Four corners where the shadows all play. One holds your virtue, one holds your decay. There's a power inside, a wellspring unseen, a fortified core, polished and clean. The weapon you carry, but never reveal. The pulse of the engine, the hardness of steel. It's the code you were born with, the unspoken might, the one steady candle that burns in the night. But a crack in the armor lets the cold seep in, a slight hesitation where purpose grows thin. A ghost in the wiring, a fault in the plan, the anchor that drags you since it all began. A splinter of doubt, a faint dissonant chord, the chink in the shield, the rust on the sword. Look to the four corners where the shadows all play. One holds your virtue, one holds your decay. One shows a new door that the wind has blown wide. One shows the hunter with nowhere to hide. To solve the equation, you must understand the lay of the room and the lay of the land. A shift in the weather, a change in the game, a fortunate echo that whispers your name. The guard is asleep and the pathway is clear. An unexpected alliance is drawing quite near. A favorable current begins now to flow. A seed in the desert is starting to grow. But a storm is approaching, you feel it ahead. A circle of rivals is fed and is bred. The ground underneath you is starting to quake. A promise another is willing to break. The wolf on the mountain is watching the flock. And time is still ticking away on the clock. Look to the four corners where the shadows all play. One holds your virtue, one holds your decay. One shows a new door that the wind has blown wide. One shows the hunter with nowhere to hide. To solve the equation, you must understand the lay of the room and the lay of the land. The map is complete now, the path is revealed, not by what you wish for, but what is concealed. In the four-cornered room. Whispers, a tangled thread. The final word remains unsaid. A lock without a key in sight, lost in the fading pallid light. The question hangs in silent air, a heavy cloak of formless care. But from the shadows hands begin to trace, giving structure to the empty space, weaving thoughts from dust and wind, where a new design can now begin. Following lines that can't be found, building meaning on silent ground. One fragile piece, then one piece more, fit the shape of what's before. Testing the joints, the strength within, against the doubt where worries spin. Each connection slow and deep, a secret that the structure will keep. And from the shadows hands begin to trace, giving structure to the empty space, weaving thoughts from dust and wind, where a new design can now begin. Following lines that can't be found, building meaning on silent ground. The form emerges from the haze, intellectual winding maze. A framework rising stark and tall, preparing to reveal it all. where the new paths begin, following lines that now are found, standing firm on solid ground. The door swings open, quiet and slow. A way forward now we know. The blueprint fades, the work is done, until the next one has begun. The wheel has stopped turning, the signal is gone. A lingering silence hangs over your head. The first given reason, a crack in the frame, a simple neat answer to whisper the blame. But the echo comes back, a question hangs low, from a seed that was planted a long time ago. Ask it the first time, the reason is near. Ask it the second, the path becomes clear. A third time you follow the twisting design. A fourth time you're crossing the shadowy line. The fifth time it's spoken, a final reply reveals the true meaning beneath the first lie. Pressure was faulty, the fitting was worn, a story of how the whole system was torn. The warning was missed, a light in the haze, a victim of hurried and thoughtless old ways. Each layer you peel back exposes the next, a line in the forgotten and intricate text. Ask it the first time, the reason is near. Ask it the second, the path becomes clear. A third time you follow the twisting design. A fourth time you're crossing a shadowy line. The fifth time it's spoken, a final reply reveals the true meaning beneath the first line. Down past the symptom, down past the effect, past all the errors you thought you'd protect. One single moment, a choice made in haste, the origin point of all that was waste. The chain lies unraveled from end to the start, a single small question that took it apart. The fifth time it's spoken, now you see. In the first corner, fire burns bright, casting a steady and unknowing light. It's built on stones or walls and done before. Silent like a pump, a solid door, a pulse that's steady in a core of steel, the only truth the hands can truly feel. The second corner holds it creeping down, a single candle lit is figuring out a hairline fracture in the river stone. A whisper word corner shows a gathering storm, a coming cold that has no place for warmth. The hungry shadows circling the gate, the heavy hand of an unwelcome fate, a fading sun, a closing of the way. The price the future always has to pay. I'm standing in the center of it all, waiting for a sign or for the sky to fall. One corner shines, and one's filled with dread. One sees the path, one sees trap, is trapped instead. The whole design laid bare before my eyes, beneath the gate of calculating skies. Corners watching, silent and discreet, the bitter knowledge and the bittersweet. The path ahead is finally made clear, and I walk out from here. Oh, Maya, 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 oh, Maya, no, Maya, no, Maya, no, Maya, no. Stretches veiled in gray, 100 doors to block the way. I test the first with a silver gleam. It shatters like a waking dream. The wood turns into silent dust, a lesson learned in fading trust. Path closes, one more begins. I shed my failures like old skins. The map I follow is unwritten still, a matter of a patient will. The answer waits behind the stone, a truth I have to find alone. Second handle carved with faith, it whispers in a chilling tone. A turn, a click, a hollow sound, just empty darkness all around. I step back from the gaping maw and learn another hidden law. One path closes, one more begins. I shed my failures like old skins. The map I follow is unwritten still, a matter of a patient will. The answer waits behind the stone, a truth I have to find alone. Each broken lock and splintered frame teaches my hand to play the game, to feel the weight, to know the grain, to walk away and start again. The floor is littered with what's failed, a testament to routes curtailed. next door waits, no sign to see. I hold the 1000th final key, or maybe not. I turn it slow, another seed I have to sow. The last page holds the very first line. The victory is the starting sign. Pull the thread from the finished scene and walk into a waking dream. A silent room, a tangled wire, a flickering, forgotten fire. Every path I take is blind, a step ahead leaves truth behind. The question hangs in heavy air, a sealed up box, a winding stair. I stand upon the distant peak to hear the secret that I see. I see the journey in reverse, lifting the enigmatic curse. From where it ends, the path is sown to make the first true move known. The river flows back to the spring. I listen for the note it brings. Each effect reveals its source, a ghost that guides me on my course. The fallen stone shows where to throw. A seed of knowledge starts to grow. I stand upon the distant peak to hear the secret that I seek. I see the journey in reverse, lifting the enigmatic curse. From where it ends, the path is sown to make the first true move known. The solved out puzzle shows the piece that offers all the rest release. The reflection in the looking glass shows how the future comes to pass. The answer breathes before the call, before the rise, you see the fall. Before the rise, the fall.
for the silent song. The quickest way is never straight. A fragile key unlocks the gates. The walls are high, the map is dust. In tangled threads I place my trust. Each corridor reflects my face. 1,000 doors in time and space. Formal logic turns to stone, leaving me to walk alone. Walk the line that isn't drawn. Listen for the silent song. The quickest way is never straight. A fragile key unlocks the gates. I see a pattern in the haze from a similar forgotten maze. Try a simpler, smaller lock and ignore the ticking of the clock. An educated guess a leap, while all the other methods sleep. Walk the line that isn't drawn. Listen for the silent song. The quickest way is never straight. A fragile key unlocks the gate. It might not be the perfect door. It might not be what I came for. But standing still is a descent. This path is where my doubt is spent. From where I am to where I'll be, it closes the distance for me. Walk the line that isn't drawn. Listen for the silent song. The fragile key unlocks the gate.
The air goes still, the map goes blank. A river with no second bank. 3 doors appear in silent mist, each with a promise and a twist. One gleams with gold, a fragile light. One hums a somber lullaby. The third's just a plain wood frame that whispers out a forgotten name. And so I pause to see them through, the hidden cost and all things new, to lift each phantom in my hand and feel the shifting of the sand, to calculate the final price of every virtue, every vice, before a single step is taken, a single bond is sealed or shaken. A vision shows a sunlit prize behind the door that blinds the eyes. A different scene, a quiet game waits past the door that hints of rain. The echoes of what could have been are swirling from the space between. Each path's reflection on the wall shows how a kingdom stands rises or falls, and so I pause to see them through. The hidden cost in all things new, to lift each phantom in my hand and feel the shifting of the scent, to calculate the final price of every virtue, every vice, before a single step is taken, a single bond is sealed or shaken. Outside holds its breath, poised between a life and death. The balance settles slow and deep, while other futures fall asleep. And so I pause to see them through, the hidden cost in all things new, to lift each phantom in my hand and feel the shifting of the scent, to calculate the final price of every virtue, every vice, before a single step is taken, a single bond is sealed or shaken.